Welcome children. Today I am continuing with some problems which may be useful for students those who are appearing for NEET JEE exam. So first one is the power in an electric circuit for a current of 5 plus or minus 0.4 ampere. So current is given here as 5 plus or minus 0.4 ampere. So here 5 represents the true value and the 0.4 represents the absolute error in the measurement of current. Then voltage is given here as 10. 10 is the true value. 10 plus or minus 0.2 volt, and this 0.2 represents the absolute error in the measurement of which one? Voltage. So here 10 is the true value and the 0.2 represents the absolute error. And this power is measured at a percentage error of how much? 10% error. Okay. Then if we want to measure the power, the same power at 5% error, what is the percentage error in current? So if we want to measure power in 5% error, so what may be the percentage error in current? Okay, so this is the question. So first of all, we can write the data. So current is given here. I equals how much? 5 plus or minus 0.4 ampere. So all measured values can be written in this form. That is here, suppose A is the measured value. So A can be written as A bar means true value or mean value. So A bar plus this delta A bar represents the absolute error in the measurement of the physical quantity. So here we are taking which one? Current. So here 5 represents the true value and this 0.4 represents the absolute error. Okay. Similarly, we have voltage here. V equals 10 plus or minus 0.2 volt. So here 10 is the true value and the 0.2 represents the absolute error in the measurement of voltage. Now this percentage error for power is given here as how much? 10%. Percentage error in power. Percentage error in power is given as how much? 10%. So what is the formula for percentage error? Relative error into 100. So here percentage error in power means power symbol is P. So delta P by P into 100. Here delta P represents the absolute error divided by P represents true value. And this will give the relative error into 100 will give which one? Percentage error. That is given as how much here? 10%. 10%. Okay. Now similarly we have to find which one percentage error for current and voltage. So for current, how will you write percentage error? Same like this formula. So delta I, absolute error in the measurement of current, divided by true value of current into 100 equals, what is the error in the measurement of current? 0.4. So 0.4 divided by, what is the true value? 5 into 100. So I am removing the decimal here. So I will be getting 4 divided by here 0.4. So after decimal only one digit. So I am dividing by 10 here. So 5 into 10 is 50 into 100. So cancelling, I will be getting 4 into 2 is 8%. So percentage error in the measurement of which one? Current is how much? 8%. Similarly, we have to find the percentage error in the measurement of which one? Voltage. Same like this one. Delta V by V into 100. Delta V represents the absolute error. So what is absolute error here? 0.2 divided by true value of voltage is 10 into 100. Removing the decimal, 2 divided by 10 into, here one more 10 will be coming in the denominator. So 10 into 10 is 100. 100 into 100. 100 cancel. Remaining we are getting 2%. So 2% is the percentage error in the measurement of which one? Voltage. So at that time, what is the percentage error in power? 10%. So we can see from here, 8 plus 2 gives how much? 10%. But if we want to get the percentage error as 5% error, so at that time, what is the percentage error in current? We have to find out. So we have to find power in how much percentage error? 5% error. So we have the formula for power. So what is the formula for power in terms of V and I? P equals VI. So we can write this formula in terms of percentage error. So percentage error of power, delta P by P into 100 equals. So when multiplication comes also, how will you write the error? So we have to add these errors. Okay, percentage error we have to add here. So here for V, how will you write percentage error? Delta V by V into 100 plus which one? Next quantity is current. So delta I by I into 100. Now in the second part they are asking if we want to measure power and how much percentage error? 5% error. That means delta P by P into 100 must be how much? 5. Okay. So instead of delta P by P into 100 we can write here as 5. Because we have to get power and how much percentage error? 5% error. So instead of this quantity I am putting here 5 equals. So what is the percentage error in voltage? There is no change in voltage here. Okay. So what is the percentage error in voltage here? 2%. So here 5% equals. So here 2% plus this one we don't know. We have to find out. It is percentage error in current we have to find out. So delta I by I into 100. Okay. So we need this quantity. So this quantity alone I am keeping in one side. So delta I by I into 100 we have to find out. Okay. Equals. The next side what we are having? 5%. So 5%. And this one we are taking on the other side. So minus 2%. So answer is how much we are getting? 3%. So 5 minus 2 is 3%. So percentage error in the measurement of current is how much here? 3%. Now second problem. The angular diameter of a planet measured from Earth is 90 seconds. So angular diameter is given as how much here? 90 seconds. Angular diameter theta. So this is the angular diameter. So this is the point of observation from the Earth. So this is considered as Earth and this is the planet and this AB represents the diameter of the planet. Okay. Then if the diameter of the planet is pi into 10 raised to 6 meters. This diameter, this D is given as how much here? Pi into 10 raised to 6 meter. So diameter is given here. Then what is the distance of the planet from the Earth? That means we have to find this distance. Distance of the planet. This is the planet from the Earth. This D distance we have to find out. Okay. So all of us know about the relation connecting this arc length and radius. Arc length, radius and this angle. Arc angle. So the formula is arc angle equals arc length divided by radius. So arc angle equals arc length divided by radius. So here arc angle means theta. Theta equals arc length means this AB. This AB is considered as an arc here. So the AB is taken as which one? Arc length, that is D diameter, divided by radius means this much distance. That is distance of the Earth from the planet. So this D distance we have to find out using which formula? This one. Okay. So now we can substitute the values. So we have arc angle, that is taken as theta. Arc angle equals arc length means this one, diameter D divided by radius, that is capital D. So from this we have to find which one? D. So therefore D equals D small d divided by theta. Now substitute the values. What is D here? Pi into 10 raised to 6 divided by, so we have to substitute for which one? Theta. Theta is the arc angle. So arc angle is given as 90 second. But we have to convert this second into which one? Radian. Okay. So how will you convert this second into radian? So first of all, we have to convert this second into which one? Minute. So 1 second means 1 by 60 minute. So if we want to convert second into minute, we have to divide by which one? 60. Then if we want to convert this minute into degree, suppose 1 minute, we have to convert into degree. What we have to do is again you have to divide by 1 more 60. That is 1 by 60 degree. So 1 second equals which one? 1 divided by 60 minute. So 1 second equals 1 by 60 minute. and 1 minute equals 1 by 60 degree. So here how much angle is given here? 90 second. So 90 second we have to convert into, first of all, degree means what we have to do? We have to divide by, so 160 we are dividing means we can convert into now which one? Minute. So 1 second we are converting into minute by dividing by 60. Then again that minute we have to convert into which one? Degree. So again you have to divide one more 60. So now, so it became in which one? Degree. Okay. Now this degree again we have to convert into which one? Radian. So 1 degree equals pi by 180 radian. Because radian is the SI unit of which one? Angle. So we always have to convert this degree into which one? Radian. So what I am doing is again you have to multiply by which one here? Pi by 180. Clear? So this pi into 10 raised to 6 is the diameter, divided by 90 second we are converting into which one? Radian. So first of all, second into minute means you have to divide by 60, and again one more 60 we are dividing, we can convert into which one? Degree. Then again you have to multiply by which one? Pi by 180 we are converting into which one? Radian. Now we can cancel the terms. So this pi and pi will cancel. The remaining, these terms will go in the numerator. So 60 into 180. So all these terms comes in the numerator. Into, already we have 10 raised to 6 here, divided by 90. Okay, so I am cancelling this 90 and 180 2 times. So remaining 6 into 6 is 36. So 36 into 2, 72. So 72 with how many zeros? 1, 2, 2 zeros into 10 raised to 6. That means 7.2 into 10 raised to, already 1 6 is here. So here how many terms to the left? 1, 2, 3. So 6 plus 3 is 9. So it's 10 raised to 9. So what is the unit here? Meter. So this is the distance of the planet from the Earth. Okay. So here we are using the formula arc angle equals arc length divided by radius. Now third problem. A disc spinning at the rate of 27.5 radian per second. So that means this 27.5 is the angular velocity. So angular velocity is given as initial angular velocity taken as omega 0. So omega is a symbol for angular velocity. So initial angular velocity means it can be taken as omega 0. That is given as how much here? 27.5 radian per second. Radian per second is slowed at the rate of 10 radian per second square. That means the rate of slowing down. That means deceleration. Or we can say the symbol as alpha. Alpha means angular acceleration. So it is given as how much here? 10 radians per second square. So since it is decelerating, we can put here minus because it is slowing down. Okay. Now find the time after which it comes to rest. So comes to rest means what about its final velocity? It is taken as 0. So omega is the final velocity, that is taken as how much here? 0. Okay. Then you have to find which one now? Time. So t we have to find out. So initial angular velocity is given as 27.5 radian per second, and this angular acceleration is given as minus 10 radian per second square. So while this minus comes means it is decelerating. So velocity is decreasing. Now in order to come to rest, how much time it has taken? So t we have to find out. So we have the formula. Omega equals omega 0 plus alpha t. So in the case of circular motion already you studied. So in the case of linear motion means we are writing as v equals u plus at. So the same analog here. Okay, so omega equals omega 0 plus alpha into t. So here what is omega 0? From this we can first of all find the formula for t. So from this alpha t equals omega minus omega 0, or t can be written as omega minus omega 0 divided by alpha, and substitute the values. So you will be getting what is omega. Omega is 0 minus omega 0 is 27.5 divided by, what is alpha here? Minus 10. So this minus become now plus. So dividing by 10 means we can move this decimal towards left. So you'll be getting 2.75 seconds. So this is the time after which this body comes to rest. Now fourth problem. 4 particles of masses M1 equals 1 kg, M2 equals 2 kg and M3 equals 1 kg and M4 are placed at the 4 corners of a square, and we have to find this mass M4 so that the center of mass of all these 4 particles lies at the center of the square. The center of mass of this 4 particle system lies at the center of the square. So first of all we can draw a diagram. So all the 4 particles are at the corners of a square. Suppose M1 I am keeping here. So M1 equals 1 kg, M2 equals 2 kg, M3 equals 1 kg and M4 we don't know. Okay. And suppose the length of each side is taken as A. So length of each side of the square is taken as A. So A is the length. And suppose, so this is the center of mass. Okay. And we are assuming that the center of mass lies at the origin of the XY coordinate. So suppose I am drawing the XY coordinate here. And we are assuming that the center of mass of this 4 particle system lies at the origin. So this is the origin. That means x coordinate and y coordinate both are 0. And this xcm represents the x coordinate of center of mass and ycm represents the y coordinate of center of mass. And we have to find this xcm as well as ycm, and from that we can find which one? M4. Okay. And I told you length of each side is taken as how much? A. And this much distance, that is half distance I am taking is how much? This is A by 2, and this also A by 2, and here also I am exactly taking the half. This much distance is A by 2, and this one also A by 2, and here also this much A by 2, and this one also A by 2, and this thing A by 2. And here also distance is A by 2, and I am extending these coordinates on the next side also. So this is negative x-axis, this is the positive x-axis, and this is the negative x-axis, and here this is positive y-axis, and when this comes down it is the negative y-axis. So this is negative y-axis and this is the 0, 0 origin. Okay. Now first of all I have to write xcm, that means the x coordinate of the center of mass. So xcm, so this is a 4 particle system. So formula already you studied. M1 x1 plus M2 x2 plus M3 x3 plus M4 x4 divided by the sum of all the masses. That means M1 plus M2 plus M3 plus M4. That is equivalent to M1. What is the mass here? 1. So 1 into x1 means distance of mass M1 from the x coordinate. So from x coordinate it is towards the left side. That means from the origin towards the left. That means we have to take the distance as negative. So towards how much distance is this much? A by 2. So we can take it as minus A by 2. So from the x-axis, how much distance? A by 2, that is a negative direction. So we can take it as minus A by 2 here, plus what is M2 here? 2 into, so this is actually M2 is towards the right direction, that is positive direction. How much distance? From A by 2 distance. So what is the mass here? 2 into distance is A by 2 plus A by 2 plus M3. So M3 is how much mass? 1 into, this also towards right direction. From x-axis towards right direction, what is the distance? A by 2. So 1 into A by 2 plus last one M4. M4 into this M4 comes on the left of the origin. How much distance? A by 2. So it is taken as minus. So M4 into minus A by 2, the whole divided by M1 plus M2 plus M3 plus M4. That is 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 1, 4. 4 plus M4. So you can write as 4 plus M4. Okay. So here M1 means 1 into X1 means the distance of this mass from which one? From the x-axis. So from x-axis, how much distance? It is A by 2 distance only towards negative x direction. So it is taken as how much? Minus A by 2. And again from M2. So M2 means 2. So it is in the positive x direction. How much distance? A by 2. So 2 into A by 2 plus again M3 is also on the right of the origin. So take it as positive. Distance is A by 2. So 1 into A by 2 plus M4. We don't know the mass. M4 into what is the distance? A by 2 towards left of the origin. So it is taken as minus. So whenever we are taking towards left of the origin, it is taken as minus. Towards right means we can take it as plus. So now we are simplifying this one. So XCM equals minus 1 into minus A by 2 means minus A by 2. So here 2 into A by 2, 2 cancel, remaining only A. This 2 and this 2 is cancelling. So remaining only A plus 1 into A by 2 is simply A by 2. Again plus M4 into minus A by 2. That means minus M4 A by 2. The whole divided by 4 plus M4. And here minus A by 2 plus A by 2 cancel. Remaining we have A minus M4 A by 2, the whole divided by 4 plus M4. Okay. We are taking LCM. The numerator 2 is taken as LCM, so you can multiply there. So I will be writing multiplying the 2 here. So 2A minus M4A, the whole divided by this 2 will be coming. The 2 into what is here the denominator? 4 plus M4. Okay. And this is equivalent to which one? This XCM is taken as 0 because it is at the origin. So this can be taken as is equivalent to which one? 0 now. Okay. Now 2A minus M4A equals, so I am cross multiplying this one. So this into 0 will give which one? 0. Now again 2A equals, this term I am taking on the right hand side, M4 into A. Then A cancel and remaining we are getting M4 equals how much? 2 kg. So this fourth mass is taken as how much here? 2 kilogram. Okay. Now fifth problem. Find the ratio of the weight of a body at a height of r by 10 from the surface of the earth to that at a depth of r by 10. So we have to find the ratio of weight of a body at a height of r by 10 from the surface of the earth to that at a depth of which one? R by 10 from the surface of the earth. Okay. So suppose this is the surface of the earth. Surface of the earth, and we have to find the weight of the object at a height of how much? R by 10 from the surface of the earth. So here we have to find the weight. Okay. And similarly we have to find the weight of the object at a depth of how much? R by 10. Depth of R by 10, that is here. So at a depth of R by 10 we have to find the weight and then find the ratio of these two. Okay. So we have the formula for acceleration due to gravity at a height from the surface of the earth. So at a height from the surface of the earth, at a height, the acceleration due to gravity is given as g dash equals. So we can write as gh. G at a height is given as gh equals g into 1 minus 2h by r. So this is the formula for acceleration due to gravity at a height. That is gh equals g into 1 minus 2h by r. Here g is the acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth. Okay. Then it is equivalent to g into here they are asking, so we have to find the weight of the body at a height of how much? R by 10. So instead of this height, what we can write down? R by 10. So 1 minus 2 into, instead of h, I am writing here R by 10. The whole divided by 1 R is coming here. Okay. And this R and this R will be cancelling. So remaining we are getting G into 1 minus 2 by 10. This R and R are cancelled. So 2 into R by 10. That means 2 by 10. Now I am taking LCM here. So GH, that is acceleration due to gravity at a height, is given as G into, cross multiplying 10 minus 2. 10 minus 2 is 8. 8 by 10. So this is the acceleration due to gravity at a height R by 10 from the surface of the earth. Now what we have to find out? We have to find the weight of the object at this height. So weight, so what is the formula for weight? So we have to find the weight of the object at a height h from the surface. So weight equals mass into gravity. So here we have to find the weight at a height. So I am putting here GH, mgh. So that is equivalent to m into, what is GH here? G into 8 by 10. So this is the weight of the object at a height h from the surface. H means what is the height given here? R by 10. At a height R by 10 from the surface of the earth. So similarly we have to find the weight of the object at a depth of how much? R by 10 from the surface of the earth. And we have the formula at a depth. So at a depth, so how will you find G value? That is G depth is given as equals G into 1 minus D by R. So here D is the depth, okay, which is equivalent to G into, here it is given at a depth of how much? R by 10. So instead of D I can put here, which one? R by 10. R by 10 divided by this R. Now this R and R will cancel. So remaining will be getting G into 1 minus 1 by 10. Or we can write as G into 10 minus 1 is 9. So 9 by 10. So this is GD. That is acceleration due to gravity at a depth is given as G into 9 by 10. Now what we have to find out? We have to find the weight of the object at this depth. Okay. So weight, I can take it as WD. WD, that means weight at a depth. The formula is M into G, that means M into G at the depth, MGD. That is equivalent to M into G into 9 by 10. 9 by 10. So now we got WD as well as WH. So what we have to find is, we have to find the ratio of WH to which one? WD. So WH is given as well as WD is given. So we have to find WH divided by WD. That means ratio. So what is WH? mg into 8 by 10 the whole divided by mg into 9 by 10. So mg cancel. Remaining 8 by 10. Take the reciprocal and multiply. So into 10 by 9. So 10 cancel. So we will be getting 8 by 9, or in ratio we can write as 8 is to 9. Okay. So WH is to WD equals 8 is to 9. Okay. So here you have to remember the formula for which one? Acceleration due to gravity at a height as well as for the depth. So at a height the formula is G into 1 minus 2h by R. At a depth the formula is G into 1 minus D by R. Okay. Now sixth problem. Find the average kinetic energy of a monoatomic gas molecule at temperature 27 degrees Celsius. So temperature is given here. T equals 27 degrees Celsius. And we have to convert this degree Celsius into Kelvin, because Kelvin is the SI unit of temperature. So we have to add by 273. So 27 plus 273 gives 300 Kelvin. Now they are asking to find the average kinetic energy of a monoatomic gas molecule. So average kinetic energy of a gas molecule is given by 3 by 2 kT. There is a formula for average kinetic energy. So average kinetic energy of a monoatomic gas molecule equals 3 by 2 Kb into T. So here T means temperature and Kb represents Boltzmann constant. So here Kb is called as the Boltzmann constant. Boltzmann constant, and its value is 1.3 into 10 raised to minus 23 joule per Kelvin. So this is a constant value. So you have to by heart this value, otherwise it may be given in the problem itself. So this Kb is called as the Boltzmann constant and its value is 1.3 into 10 raised to minus 23 joule per Kelvin. And we have to find the average kinetic energy of this monoatomic gas molecule. Suppose they are asking for 1 mole of gas. So we have another one formula. So for 1 molecule of gas, formula is 3 by 2 into Kb into T. So for 1 mole of gas, if we want to find the average kinetic energy, so it is given by 3 by 2 into R into T. So here R is the gas constant. So we can substitute R as Na into Kb. So here Na represents the Avogadro number and Kb is the Boltzmann constant. So if it is asked for 1 mole of gas, so if we want to find average kinetic energy for 1 mole of gas, we can use which formula? 3 by 2 R into T. So here R is the gas constant and this R can be substituted as Na into Kb. Here Na is the Avogadro number and Kb is the Boltzmann constant. But here we have to find which one? The average kinetic energy of 1 molecule of gas. So we can substitute the values. So kinetic energy equals 3 by 2 into Kb. Boltzmann constant value is 1.3 into 10 raised to minus 23 into temperature, it is 300 Kelvin. Now we can cancel this 2 and 300, we will be getting 150. Now this 3 into 15 is 45. So this 45 into 13. So we will be getting 585. So this 585 and here one more 0 is there. And here after decimal 1 digit, so I am putting 1 decimal to the left. So 585 into again here 10 raised to minus 23. So you have to write this answer in standard form. That means you have to write as 5.85 into 10 raised to minus 21. So here 10 raised to 2 will come and it's 10 raised to 2 and 10 raised to minus 23. That gives 10 raised to minus 21. So this much joule. So final kinetic energy, average kinetic energy is given as 5.85 into 10 raised to minus 21 joule. Now, seventh problem. 3 thin wires of equal length. So all the 3 wires are having same length, are suspended from the top of a roof. The ratio of their area of cross section is 1:2:4. The area of cross section ratio is given here. And ratio of Young's modulus is given as 4:2:1. Then you have to find the ratio of weights to be attached at the other end to obtain same elongation. So in all the 3 wires, elongation is same. So length is same as well as elongation also same. We have to find the ratio of weights to be attached. Weight means you have to find force. So force acting on these wires. So we have to find the ratio of weights to be attached at the other ends. And elongation also for all the 3 wires it is same. Okay. So first of all, so I am taking 3 wires. Suppose we have 3 wires are suspended from a roof. So 3 wires are there, and all the 3 wires are having same length. That is, original length is same. So L. So L is the original length. Suppose I am taking these 3 wires as, I am naming these wires as P, Q and R. I am taking here. So P, Q and R are the 3 wires. And all these 3 wires are having same length. So length is same. L is the length. And here also length is L. Then here it is given all the 3 wires are having same elongation. So elongation means small l. So small l is taken as the elongation wire. So L is also same. L, and here also L. And before doing this, we know the formula for Young's modulus. So what is the formula for Young's modulus? So we have Y equals, Young's modulus form as symbol is Y. So Y equals stress by strain. That means F by stress means force by area, divided by strain means elongation length divided by original length. Okay, that means when this taking reciprocal and multiplying, you will be getting F into capital L divided by A into small l. So this is the formula for Young's modulus. Okay, so here capital L is the original length of these wires, and the small l indicates the elongation. So by applying force, the elongation of wire is taken as which one? Small l. So here it is given same elongation. So I have taken here small l. Then so here area I am taking for this wire A1. First wire for P I am taking area as A1, and for wire Q I am taking area as A2, and for wire 3, that is R, I am taking area as A3. And similarly force acting I am taking here F1. So F1 is the force acting on this wire P, and F2 is the force acting on this wire Q, and F3 is the force acting on this wire R. Then Young's modulus I am taking here. The Young's modulus for this wire P I am taking as Y1, and Young's modulus for the wire Q I am taking as Y2, and here for R I am taking as Y3. Okay. Now I am writing the formula for Young's modulus in the case of wire P. So Young's modulus Y1. So Young's modulus for the wire is given as Y1. Y1 equals, what is the formula? Force. Force I am taking as F1 into length capital L divided by which one? Area. So area is taken as how much here? A1 into what is length? Small elongation means small l. Similarly, I am writing Young's modulus for the second wire. Y2 equals, so what is the formula? F2 into length is same, so I am writing as L only, divided by area is A2 into what is elongation here? Small l. Similarly, I am writing for which one? So last wire. So Y3 equals F3 into length is same L divided by A3 into L. L is same. So now we have to find the ratio of Young's modulus. I am going to find the ratio of Young's modulus here. That is Y1 is to Y2 is to Y3. That is equivalent to what is Y1 here? F1L by A1 into small l is to, so here F2 into capital L divided by A2 into small l is to F3 into capital L divided by A3 into small l. So everywhere equal terms will be cancelled because it is ratio only. So here small capital L, small l, here also capital L, small l, here also capital L, small l, everything will be cancelling. The equal terms will be cancelling. So remaining you will be getting. So Y1 is to Y2 is to Y3 equals, this L cancel, here L cancel, here also L cancel, remaining F1 by A1 is to F2 by A2 is to F3 by A3. Okay. Now Y1 is to Y2 is to Y3. It is already given in the question itself. The Young's modulus ratio is 4 is to 2 is to 1. It is given in the question. So 4 is to 2 is to 1. equals F1 we don't know. F1 divided by area ratio is given there. Ratio is 1:2:4. That means A1 is to A2 is to A3 is given as how much? 1:2:4. 1:2:4. That means A1 1, A2 2 and A3 4. Okay. So F1 divided by what is A1? 1 is to F2 divided by what is A2? 2 is to F3 divided by what is A3? 4. Okay. Now, so this is an equation, no? So we can equate both sides. So this 4 can be equated to F1 by 1, 2 can be equated to F2 by 2 and 1 can be equated to F3 by 4. So first F1 by 1 equals 4, or from this we can write F1 equals how much? 4 into 1 is 4. So F1 we got as 4. Similarly, second term I am equating F2 by 2 equals 2. Or we can write F2 equals 2 into 2 is 4. Similarly, last term F3 by 4 equals 1. Or we can write F3 equals 4 into 1 is 4. Now what we have to find out? We have to find the ratio of the weights. Weights means ratio of the force. Force is equivalent to weight. So we have to find the ratio, that is F1 is to F2 is to F3. That means what is F1? 4 is to F2, 4 is to F3 is 4. So all the terms are same means we can divide with the same term itself. So dividing by 4 means everything will be getting as 1 is to 1 is to 1. So this is the ratio of the weights or force acting on this wires. Okay, so this much for today.